Hi everybody, welcome to the BlueJ tutorial. Today what we're going to do is we're going to open BlueJ and we're going to create a drawing using some classes that have already been created by someone else. One of the powerful aspects of Java is that not only can you create your own classes and objects from those classes, but you could also use other people's classes to create objects to do a whole bunch of things. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to use the Shapes project that comes already installed on your machine in an examples folder when you install BlueJ. We're going to open that and we're going to create some objects from those classes: the circle class, the triangle class, and the square class. We're then going to manipulate those objects through their methods, and I'm going to draw a house, but you are going to draw something else for your lab. Okay? So this is how this works. Let me get to BlueJ. Okay, here's my BlueJ. I am going to go up to project and I am going to open a project because this already exists in the examples folder, as you see here. I'm going to click on the shapes project and I'll open it. Okay, this has four classes, the shapes project: a circle, square, and triangle. I'm going to right now create a new square object, and I'm going to call the object that I'm going to create from the square class wall. Okay, and down in the dock you see a wall object. I am going to click on that, and here are the methods that come with that object. So I'm going to click on the make visible method, and up pops my output screen and I see a small red square. Okay, I'm going to do a few other things with this square. So I go back to I right click on the methods again, and I'm going to choose new size, change size. Okay, that's asking for an integer value, okay, of pixels. So I'm going to type in 150 pixels and hit OK. Notice it gets bigger. Okay, I still have to do a few things with this, so I'm going to go to the move vertical method. Again, asking for an integer value in a distance. I'm going to input 75 pixels and it's going to move down vertically 75 pixels. Okay, that's my wall. I'm going to create a new object from the square class, and I'm going to call it bottom door. Notice I used one word and I camel cased it, and I had the first letter small. Okay, I am going to again invoke the make visible method. Here we see it starting in the same spot, and now I'm going to change the color. Okay, so this method says change color, and it's looking for a string input, a string parameter. So I have to use my quotation marks and I put in black, and that changes that object to black. All right, I'm going to now move it vertically. Again, it's asking for an integer value, so I want to move it vertically 195 pixels. That'll move it down. That looks right. Now I have to move it over, so I'm going to use the move horizontal method. I'm going to input here 60 for 60 pixels, and that's the bottom of my door. I need to make a top door, so I'm going to create a new object. I'm going to call this top door, camel cased. Starts with a small t. I can only make squares in this program, right? So I'm making it visible. I'm going to change the color. I'll make this one black too. So I don't have a rectangle class, so I have to put two squares together. And I'm going to hit OK. Changes it to black. Okay, not in the right position though, so I'm going to go back to invoke two more methods. I'm going to move it horizontally with an integer value of 60 pixels. And now I'm going to move it vertically down, and I'm going to put in a value of 175 pixels. Okay, hit OK. That looks right. I need one more square object, so I'm going to create one more square object, and I'm going to call this window. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. I am going to look at the methods, and I'm going to, of course, make it visible. Starts out in the same spot. I need to change the color again, so I'll make this black, quotation marks for strings. Okay, close quotation, hit OK. Great. And I need to reposition it. So I'm going to use the move vertical method, 100 pixels. It's going to move down. And now I need the move horizontal method for a distance of 220. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm going to use another class, the triangle class, okay? And I'm going to create an object from the triangle class called roof. Okay. Again, it's not going to be visible until I invoke the make visible method, so I have to make it visible. Okay, about the same size, but these are green. Okay, so now I need to notice here that to change size, I have two parameters. I have a height and a width, both requiring integer values. Okay, so the height I want to be 75 pixels, and the width I think 200 would be good. Notice that it changes both height and width of a triangle. Not in the right position, so I'm going to invoke the move vertical method. Okay, I'll move it down 40 pixels. That looks good. And now I have to move it horizontally with the I'm going to use the slow move horizontal. Let's see what that does. When I put in 85, it moves it over slowly. Okay, a method that we could use. All right, one more thing to do. Let's create one more object, but this time from the circle class. Okay, and I'm going to call this sun. Hit OK. What's the first thing we have to do? Make it visible. There it goes. It's blue, not what we want. So let's change that color to quotation marks. Let's put in yellow. Okay. A couple more things. Let's reposition. Okay, and let's move this. Let's change the size. It's asking for a diameter. Okay, this time we need circles have diameter, so we're going to make it 50. And this time we're going to move it horizontally, a distance of 200. Great. And now this time we have to move it up a little bit. Now this time, let's do the slow move vertical method. But this time, because I'm moving it up, I'm going to use a negative sign. So minus 50. I'm going to hit OK. And there it goes. And this is my house. This is where I live. Okay? And I'm going to have you make some other types of drawings. Okay? One other thing, aside from the three classes, we see a canvas class. The canvas class is needed in this project for the creation of drawings. So we're using a whole nother aspect of Java where we could put shapes and things onto to make visible. Okay, what we'll be doing throughout the semester is we'll really be just using text. We'll be outputting text to the screen, but when you want to put in shapes and with different colors and things, you need to use a whole nother set of classes in Java. So the Canvas class allows us to easily do that. Okay? So now let's think about what we've just done. We've created a bunch of objects from some already created classes. All right, and we manipulated those objects through the methods and we made a drawing. Great. Now if I close BlueJ though, and I want to replicate that house, I have to do it all over again, right? That doesn't seem to be any way powerful, right? That we have to keep doing it over and over again. So what I would like us to do this week, and I'll show you here, is I have made a copy of the shapes project, okay? And I'm going to call it copy dash shapes. So I'll use that. I'm going to open up that for you. and you'll see that I have created a new class. I've created a house class. Let me click on it here to show you the code. I've taken everything I've done physically by the right clicking, and I've transferred that into code, and I put it into this class, and I compile it, and I will do the same thing. I will create a new house object, okay, and I'll call this my house. Put that into the object bench, and I have one method in my house class called build house, and when I invoke the build house method, it does the whole thing for me in one shot. So this is what I want you guys to do for this week's assignment. Okay, great.